Hello everyone, and welcome to MyniQ podcast. I'm your host, and I'll be sharing short English stories and conversations with you every day. Today's episode is A House of Dreams. And the text level is 6. Learn how to talk about things that might happen and things that describe other things. Stick around till the end for 5 quick questions to test your understanding. Alright then, let's get listening.
A House of Dreams. It was the year 1858 when Charles Frederick Worth founded the first fashion house, revolutionizing the industry with his innovative designs and high-end clientele. As a young man, I had always been fascinated by the world of fashion, and the idea of working for such an esteemed establishment seemed like a dream come true. I was thrilled to be appointed as Worth's personal assistant, learning everything from him about the art of fashion. From selecting the finest materials to create exquisite designs, I was determined to master every aspect of my role. As we worked together, I found myself drawn to his passion and dedication to his craft. One day, while working on a new collection, I stumbled upon an old trunk hidden away in Worth's attic. Inside, I discovered a series of exquisite gowns and accessories that had been forgotten for years. As I carefully restored each piece, I felt a deep connection to the past and the people who had created these beautiful works of art. Worth was so impressed with my find that he asked me to join him on a special project to recreate one of his most famous designs from the 19th century. As we worked together, I realized that fashion was not just about creating beautiful clothes, but also about preserving history and honoring those who have come before us.
Now, let's move on to the conversation between Billy, Meg, Kelly, and their teacher, Louis, after reading the novel.
I felt like I was right there with Charles Frederick Worth as he worked on his designs.
Yeah, me too. I loved how the author described the process of creating a new collection. It sounded so cool.
I'm more interested in the science behind fashion. Did you know that some fabrics are made from recycled materials?
Actually, Billy, that's a great point. The novel does mention the importance of sustainability in the fashion industry.
I loved how the author wove together history and fiction. It felt like I was reading a real memoir.
Yeah, it was like I was right there with Worth as he worked on that special project to recreate one of his famous designs. So cool.
I think what really stood out to me was the attention to detail in the novel. The author really did their research on fashion history.
That's true, Billy, and I appreciated how the author highlighted the significance of preserving historical knowledge and honoring those who came before us.
Now, let's test your understanding of the novel and the dialogue with 5 questions. Question 1. What was Charles Frederick Worth's contribution to the fashion industry? I. He founded the first sportswear brand. B. He created the first sustainable fabrics. C. He founded the first high-end fashion house. D. He invented the sewing machine. E. He wrote a famous novel. The answer is C. He founded the first high-end fashion house. Question 2. What did the narrator discover in Charles Frederick Worth's attic? I. A collection of antique jewelry. B. A series of exquisite gowns and accessories. C. A book on fashion history. D. A trunk full of money. E. A famous painting. The answer is B. A series of exquisite gowns and accessories. Question 3. What was the narrator's role at Charles Frederick Worth's fashion house? I. He was a model for their runway shows. B. He was in charge of designing new fabrics. C. He was the personal assistant to Charles Frederick Worth. D. He was in charge of managing the store's finances. E. He was a famous journalist. The answer is C. He was the personal assistant to Charles Frederick Worth. Question 4. Why did Charles Frederick Worth ask the narrator to join him on a special project? I. Because he wanted to create a new collection of accessories. B. Because he wanted to recreate one of his most famous designs from the 19th century. C. Because he wanted to start a fashion magazine. D. Because he wanted to create a sustainable fabric line. E. Because he wanted to write a novel. The answer is B. Because he wanted to recreate one of his most famous designs from the 19th century. Question 5. What did Billy mention in the dialogue? I. He loved reading about fashion history. B. He was interested in the science behind fashion. C. He thought the novel was boring. D. He hated the author's writing style. E. He didn't like the book at all. The answer is B. He was interested in the science behind fashion. That's it for today's quiz. How many did you answer correctly? Thanks for tuning in to my channel today. I hope you enjoyed the stories and conversations and found the quiz challenging yet fun. Don't forget to subscribe or follow us for more daily English learning content. Until next time, keep practicing your English and have a wonderful day.